Welcome to the Safely Controlled Podcast, a show where we think we know what we're talking about, but we're still deeply confused.
That's right, those mysterious, spooky, and sometimes downright ridiculous anomalies that the SCP Foundation works so hard to keep under control.
How do they control them? Why do they control them? Honestly, we're still figuring that out. But hey, we got dice, and that's all we need to choose which SCP we're probably going to mispronounce today.
From homicidal rubber ducks to existentially horrifying vending machines, we're here to explain them to you. Mostly.
So buckle up and suspend your disbelief, and prepare to be entertained by two people pretending they know what's going on.
But we were watching Saturday night's SNL, last night's SNL, and it was Scarlett Johansson. And at the end of the season, the Colin Jost and Michael Che always make each other do racist jokes. Well, earlier in the season, there was a really bad joke that they did on Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, it was the Christmas episode.
Yeah. Well, she was host and she was she was host and she was there. It was, dude. I was just like smoking it. We were laughing so hard, dude. The jokes in that thing are just wicked. So funny.
You know I don't go down there.
Yeah.
He says, I've been eating roast beef ever since she had the baby.
Right, that's right, yeah. And he said that they called my vagina like roast beef for the last...
Shit.
Oh, it was so funny.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah. And she was sitting right next to Che. It was great.
I honestly don't remember the last time I watched like a brand new episode of Saturday Night Live.
The last time?
Like the last one, like a live episode that I watched.
Oh.
I don't know, like for whatever reason, the cast isn't the same.
No, it's not. But the hosts are, like last week, it was Walton Goggins.
Oh, yeah, I seen some clips of that. I saw the one where they were at, like he was flirting with the women.
Yeah. Oh, he is so, like, he's got, I'm going to say it, he got Riz.
He got gay dude Riz. I think he's gay.
He's not gay.
Isn't he gay?
No. Not at all. I don't think he is.
Yeah, I don't think he is either. I thought he was.
Why did you think he was? Because he plays those characters?
Because he I don't know. He kind of seems a little gay.
Maybe it's his, like, country twang.
Oh.
What?
Oh, that's actually really sad.
What?
I mean, he actually, he's been married since 2011.
Yeah.
But he got married in 2001, and then his wife died 3 years later.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, that's just sad.
Did it say what she died of?
No.
Probably
I can't, click on her name either.
Well, probably some medical thing.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, sidetrack. I forgot to give these to you. It's the complete set.
Okay.
They're random, but it might be good podcast talk.
Thank you.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
She just handed me a stack of really, really old teenage tops.
How old?
Teenage. I don't know.
Is there a year?
I'm looking. They are 1990.
Wow. Those are old.
Sick.
She has the full set?
I guess so. I don't know why these just popped up. Savoring Their Reward. And it has all the turtles. It's number 66. I wonder if they're actually all in order.
Probably.
They're all in, like, the...
numerical print order?
Yeah.
Those need sleeved.
I think I have a couple somewhere.
If you don't, I have a bunch.
But anyway, the one note in my phone that I did want to ask you about, because you have been, like, watching a couple of different series here and there, maybe some newer movies that you haven't seen recently.
Okay.
Do you by any chance ever watch documentaries?
Here and there. It depends on the subject.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much what draws me towards one, because I've been actually like looking at a couple that I want to watch, and I mean, there is really nothing out there that I like. If you had a suggestion for a documentary, is what I was looking for.
No, I don't have any suggestion for any documentaries because, like I said, I'll catch something if it catches my eye, but I don't like. That's not like a typical genre I click to.
Which I guess actually the last one that I could recommend to you to watch was something about the Jerry Springer show. I think it's on Netflix.
I did see the little thumbnail about Jerry Springer.
Yeah, that one was actually pretty cool. That was like the last one that I watched, and I don't even remember when it
You know
came
what?
out.
I completely take it back. I watched the Liver King one. The Liver King one.
The Liver King?
I think it's Liver King. Yeah, it's on Netflix too,
you-
and that's a documentary.
What's the
It's a
the
dude that's-
bodybuilder
He's yeah,
or whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah, he was some sort of like saying how you got to eat like organs and testicles and liver
Right.
of the animals, and
Doesn't he like?
turns out he was doing steroids the whole time, and it came out.
Yeah, and he does. Didn't he also like? Wasn't he one of those people that like all those like weird fucking home remedy type shit and like drinking piss and saying that it's healthy?
Yeah, like, well, I mean, that's what I put eating the organs, like
Yeah.
raw organs, and I put that in the same category. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, for sure.
When you said Liver King, my brain
Liver
went
King,
to
yeah.
Tiger King.
Yeah, no, I think it's King. I
No,
hope
it's Liver King. It for sure is.
Okay.
But when you said that and you said Netflix, I was like,
Oh, you think
he
it
doesn't
was-
mean Tiger King. I
Well,
know
no.
he would just say Tiger
Yeah.
King.
Oh, that guy got married
Great.
in prison.
prison, great.
prison, yeah. And then he's
That's-
married now.
What's his name? Joe Exotic?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. He's still pushing to get released by Trump. He's still pushing for Trump to
Yeah,
release
and
him.
then he needs to settle that lawsuit that some bitch down in Florida,
Some
Carol
bitch.
Baskins.
Carol Baskins,
That's
yeah.
been, what has it been, like 5 years since that documentary came out?
Yeah, it feels like 5 or 6, yeah.
That was a fun show to watch, I
That
guess.
I mean, I can't lie. Even when it came out, I couldn't stop watching it. I like watched it straight through.
The one that came out before that, though, that I did see, and then another one that I would recommend, you know who Aaron Hernandez was?
Yeah, wasn't he a football player that
Yeah.
had that CTE and went and murdered people or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's one on him that's
Okay.
on Netflix probably still.
Huh.
I think they're the ones that actually made it, but
Yeah. Is it? I don't like it when they do documentaries like a. I don't know. They did it with the OJ. So like they reshoot it. They
like
did it with the OJ Simpson.
reimagination,
Yeah.
a reenactment rather.
It's not a reenactment. It's just like they go back and they like I don't know. It seems inauthentic when they do that. It seems like they're doing it for more views than anything.
Well, the one about Aaron Hernandez is actually like kind of shit because after it came out, a lot of people started like pointing like out a lot of like false bullshit that was in that flick.
Oh,
But it's such a good watch to me. The fact that like, first of all, he's a piece of shit. He was a piece of shit and did some fucking shady shit.
did
like,
he die?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he unalived himself in prison.
Oh, he did it to himself.
He was just like doing random gangbanging type shit on the side while he was like one of the best players in the NFL. He was getting touchdown passes thrown to him by Tom Brady, and he was like, I'm still gonna like do gangbanger shit. Like there was a story where they were at like a red light and a car pulled up next to him, and he didn't like the person and the car next to them, so he just pulled out a gun and started shooting them.
No, that's horrible.
Like,
Well, there's
like he
evil
went to
I
prison
mean,
for
there's-
killing one person, and then like they were saying that he probably killed like 3 or 4 different people.
and then he did that to himself in prison.
Oh yeah, because plus he got caught. The dude that he ended up getting like charged for was the guy that was like texting a family member like, I'm with this dude and I don't trust him. So if something happens, it's his fault.
Oh,
And then immediately like, yep.
yeah, maybe I should watch that.
It's like the story that part's accurate. It's like the background story of like when he was younger.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
dude came
I don't know
out, like
anything about
some
that.
fucking gay dude that went to school with him came out and said that like they used to be like lovers when they were like kids or something.
What?
And that's like somewhat blasphemous to say, but like other than like whatever, he is who he is and he's dead, whatever. It's like you're kind of like destroying his character because most of his
because
friends,
he can't defend himself.
right? Most people were like, he could just be saying that for shits and
Yeah.
gigs. Like, I mean, just because he is like that,
Yeah, it doesn't mean it happened.
you can't necessarily prove that.
Right.
But it was that dude's dad who was also a part of like the questioning and interviews, and me and Nick laughed our asses off at this dude because you could just tell this dude was an actor. He was so funny.
That sucks.
He's just like this he's just like this big fat dude who's just like the part was that they're talking about how Aaron's mom was dating a dude like a couple of years older than he was.
Okay.
And he's like, you don't want to wake up some morning and see some other dude cooking bacon in his fucking underwear in his kitchen. Like, you're going to be like, it's just like, why are you talking like this? Man?
Like he had a New York accent.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, they were from Boston.
Oh, okay, close enough.
Yeah.
It's
I
funny.
think that he grew up somewhere similar to, like, he
It's
is
just a
from
major
that area.
city. Yeah.
Plus, Aaron Hernandez went, do you remember a guy named Tim Tebow?
Yeah.
He's the preacher almost of the NFL. Like
Yeah.
the Jesus
Oh,
guy.
yeah, I remember.
Tim Tebow destroyed the Steelers in the playoffs with one play.
Wasn't he horrible?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
College ball, amazing. NFL, not so much.
What, did he just like choke up?
I guess it's a different game. I don't understand why it's so different. But most quarterbacks can be dynamite in fucking college football. But when they get to the pros, they just
choke up.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It's more afraid. There's more grown men running at you.
Yeah, really big. Yeah.
Like you're playing against people your same age, and then you get into the pros. There's like dudes like 15 years older than you. They've been around the block a couple of times, I guess. But,
sure.
Well, yeah. Anyway, if you like murder, watch the Aaron Hernandez.
I might watch that. Yeah. What just started that me and the wife love watching is Welcome to Wrexham, and that started.
That's a documentary.
Yeah,
it's a docuseries.
It's a yeah, and it's fantastic. I don't know if you've ever watched it.
I never watched it, and I love both of those people.
Oh my god!
For whatever
you
reason,
have to go back to season 1 and start watching, because this were the first 2 episodes of season 4, and it shows how and it's not really a spoiler because anybody could look it up, and it's kind of common knowledge. You know, they go by this little tiny. Well, you know the story. They buy this little soccer team in a Welsh town.
Didn't they just get bumped up recently?
Back-to-back promotions. They went from one league to the next league to the next league.
In 2 years?
In 2 years.
Seasons or whatever.
2 seasons, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say what I know. And then, well, because they're trying to go back to back to back. So, yeah. But this season is them trying to go from back to back to back to the 30. To get not relegated. Relegated is getting stepped down, promoted to the next round, because the next round after they're in
the Premier League.
They're in League One, so the next round up is Premier League. I'm 99% sure that they're going to be in the top league, and the whole money thing with going from league to league and everything. It's just like everything. It's a really good show.
The thing that I would know about that whole story is the fact that they are a very small town.
Yeah.
And they bought this soccer team, and their stadium wasn't much of nothing. And then they were in, like, let's say they were in 4, and now they're in 2 or 1.
They went from like 4th league to 2nd league
Quickly.
Super quickly. Yeah.
And do you know, like, do you know why that is done that way? Like, what requires you to be promoted to the next league?
Your record for the season. So there's only so many that can stay in. Like people very rarely, unless you're really good, stay in the same, because
so people drop out of the Premier League all the
time?
And
they always go down. Yeah, there's like three teams that always get promoted and 3 teams that always get demoted.
In each league?
It seems like, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm pretty you're just talking. Soccer. Hey, you're talking to an American fan that really doesn't watch like the games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a fan of this show. So I could be completely wrong. Whoever's listening is probably screaming at the device.
I'm sure that you would be excited to see them make it up or whatever. If there's a televised game that Wrexham's playing, you're going to find it and watch it.
They've been doing it. Yeah, and you can actually watch them and stuff. It's fantastic.
It's like, even like if you would see them playing in like the Premier League, you would tune it in, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, and for preseason they came to America and did a tour of like preseason in America with American teams, and then they went back over. Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, I highly recommend.
I'm sure they would have fucked around with Philly's team or something like that. McElhaney.
Yeah, McElhaney's like such a Philly guy. Oh, it's great.
Good for them.
Yeah, I'm happy for him.
So a couple of weeks ago, I rolled the gun manual, and then we just did the follow-up episode of the other book that you read the pages and then it fucking it saw or whatever, and then we did the Flesh That Hates. So it's been a minute since we rolled. We're just going to do a normal roll today. And hopefully we'll fucking, land on something good. But it's not always like that.
You know what? Even the bad ones are good sometimes. Because we make fun of them.
I mean, plus, like, there's the thing that about the rating system that we still might not understand.
I don't get this rating system.
Because, like, sometimes we run into something that's like a 99 rating, but it's so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we'll get something in the thousands, and we're like, why is this so good?
Yeah.
But I am really only 3.
Oh, so we're
just
going
to see
for
what
the
we get. 513.
513. 513. A cowbell. Dude.
All our times have
Ding, ding,
come.
ding, ding, ding.
I have a fever. Object class Euclid. Oh, wait, hold on. One of those.
Maybe you should use it as a suppository.
Put nicotine on my hand.
Yeah, why not? One of these days you feel freaky. Have at it.
I'm sure it's burning.
Oh, and my
Salt.
Oh, it's a salt.
Yeah.
A salt on it. Your ass.
Special containment procedures. SCP-513 is to be suspended in 1 cubic meter block of gelatin and contained with a soundproof, climate-controlled cell. The gelatin must be inspected daily for any degradation or loss of integrity. An emergency inspection will be carried out immediately following any earthquake, explosion, or sonic event grade 2 or higher. Personnel performing the inspection are to wear earplugs and active noise-canceling earmuffs at all times while inside 513's cell. Maybe the ringing of the cowbell is...
It's in gelatin, so it can't clap.
If it's outside the gelatin, it's going to destroy your eardrums.
Maybe.
If the gelatin cube shows any signs of rips, tears, splits, etc., 513 is to be immediately removed and suspended with a replacement cube by a team of surgically deafened Class D personnel.
Surgically deafened? Dude!
No other personnel are enter the cell during the procedure. So they took a bunch of Dougs.
I feel so bad for these Dougs.
I don't, because I'm starting to think that Class D is they're prisoners.
That doesn't make it any better.
But I feel like they instead of going to prison, like just going...
Oh, they volunteer to do this? They
Yes.
always die? Now these are going to be deaf for life?
Instead of living like life in prison, they volunteer to do crazy shit like this.
Just to not be in prison for life.
Right.
Okay. All right.
That's like the vibe I've gotten off of Class D in the past couple of weeks, actually.
All right.
Anyway.
This is a good theory.
Well, not to make a sidetrack here real quick. The Samantha, the one Class D that was helping with the book that you read and then you would see crazy shit.
Yeah.
And then she actually became the book.
Right.
She had said something of what she actually did in her past and why she was there. Like she committed a crime or whatever. That's where I kind of get that from now.
Okay.
Anyway.
Kind of explains stuff.
Any sentient beings exposed to 513 are to be monitored by at least 2 security personnel at all times. Under absolutely no circumstances may exposure victims be administered sedatives or allowed to fall unconscious. Any victim who does fall unconscious is to be terminated immediately. So don't fall asleep or we're gonna shoot you in the head. What's going on with this cowbell, bro?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Okay, Class D personnel are to be terminated at first sign of mental degradation. Degradation.
Yeah.
Class D personnel are to be terminated at the first sign of mental degradation. All others, what is degradation?
Like something like gets worse over time, that degrades.
Compose?
Opposite of composition, it's degradation. It like wastes away, like rusts. So something degrades.
Sure.
Yeah, it gets worse with time.
If possible, 513-1 is to be apprehended on site. What? Oh.
Okay.
Go ahead, description.
So physically, 513 is an unremarkable rusty cowbell. No marks or engravings are visible on its surface due to the large amount of corrosion. Attempts to remove the rust chemically or mechanically have had no success. SCP-513 was recovered by Agent Blank while carrying out containment reestablished procedure MU at Site Blank. SCP-513's clapper was firmly held in place by several strips of duct tape. A single scrap of paper was found along with SCP-513. See the addendum. Any noise produced... Here we go. This is what we're all waiting for. Any noise produced by SCP-513 immediately induces strong anxiety in all sentient beings who hear it, regardless of their previous mental status. Oh, that's a horror. That's an anxiety bell. That sucks. Exposure victims report feelings of being watched by an unseen entity and present elevated heart rates and blood pressure. Roughly 1 hour after exposure victims begin to catch glimpses of SCP-13-1 when opening doors, walking past mirrors, turning their heads, or performing any other actions that result in a sudden change of visual perception. Upon being sighted, SCP-513-1 reportedly turns away and runs out of view before disappearing without a trace. Questioning of bystanders indicates that SCP-513-1 is invisible to those who have not been exposed to SCP-513. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Sightings of SCP-513-1 reoccur every 14 to 237 minutes. This stalking behavior inevitably causes extreme sleep deprivation as victims are frequently disturbed by SCP-513-1's presence in their quarters. Victims able to fall asleep before SCP-513-1's appearance report being physically assaulted by it. Upon victims awakening, SCP-513-1 flees as usual. See Experiment Log 513. This sleep deprivation. Why are you giggling?
Because I know who I'm picturing as the person that they think they.
Do I want to know?
Take a guess at who it is.
I have no idea.
Oh, it's kind of funny. If there's a voice for it to be done, I got you.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
All right. This sleep deprivation, along with the mental stress caused by SCP-513-1's behavior, invariably induces paranoia, aggression, hypervigilance, and depression. All test cases but one have ended with the test subject's suicide. So descriptions of 513-1's appearance are largely unreliable. Test subjects are unable to provide complete accounts of sightings due to their exhaustion, degraded mental health, and disruptive hypervigilance. However, all interrogations thus far indicate that SCP-513-1 is a tall, emaciated humanoid with abnormally large hands. And then there's a little addendum. Text recovered from the site. It says, "You've seen it, now he can hear you. You've touched it, now he can see you. Never ring it. If you hear it, he can touch you."
The monster or whoever, like when the bell is rang in people's ears and they get the anxiety, the person that they see is, "You've seen it, now he can hear you. You've touched it, now he can see you. Never ring it. If you hear it, he can touch you." It's Christopher Walken.
The
only thing I need. This was a very short one. I didn't realize it was a short one.
That's okay.
But it's honestly really funny.
It is funny. I could see why it's rated.
It's a decent rating for. I guess it's. I don't necessarily like the really short ones. I do like the ones that are obviously a little bit more story driven or whatever. But like for as short as this is, it's a really great concept.
Yeah, it's really good.
Of having it needs to be contained some way, so
and
it's
I
not
like
ringing or whatever.
And I like that it's in gelatin. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm trying to think of like the worst. Well, I mean, I just
like that it's like an anxiety bell.
I wonder if they would like. I mean, this would be something that maybe somebody else, like not the Foundation, but like Chaos or whomever, would take this and try to weaponize it. Because it seems like something that you could totally weaponize, but it would even harm the people that are trying to weaponize it.
Right.
It seems like
they all have to be deafened.
If it can't be destroyed, they did say something about trying to like remove like the rust,
corrosion, and nothing.
Attempts to remove the rust chemically or mechanically have no success. So it's just
mechanically, which means sandpaper.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like nothing.
Like I said, it's not terrible. I'm putting it like a mid rating, like a 3, because it being short.
I'll give it a 3.
But I would like to roll another one because this is a little bit too short.
For sure. Check it out. Let's do a 4-digit this time. Oh, you did.
3285.
3285. Creative Comas. All right, I'll go with this one. At least it's safe, the object class on this one. SCP-3285. Object class is safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-3285 is stored in a standard high-value containment locker in Site-73 and can be obtained with the approval of the current project head. Testing on any subjects other than D-class requires the approval of the site director. So you don't need permission to test anything on D-class. That's so great. Following incident 3285/007, testing on any subjects who have worked as intellectual property attorneys is now forbidden. Testing on any subjects who have worked as intellectual property attorneys. Well, we'll find out why, I guess. That's very interesting. Description, 3285 is an orange plastic medicine bottle containing between 5 and 25 orange pills. Hereafter, SCP-3285-A. So that's the bottle. or that's the pills.
The pills, I believe, are
The
A.
pills are A.
Whatever the medicine is.
Okay,
The bottle itself.
And then labeled Creative Comas. The logo appears to be a slightly altered version of the Creative Commons logo. Let me see that logo. Oh, the little CC. I've seen that logo on some like literary works.
Oh, I'm thinking of just like it being like a copyright thing.
Yeah, it's sort of like a copyright thing. Oh, there it is. One side of the label depicts the illustration pictured above, and the reverse side contains the following text. Creative Comas, Entertainment and Education Division, Public Domain Protection Service. CCC compliant AP individuals do not use unless mandated. When an instance of SCP-3285-A is consumed by a subject, it will initially display properties similar to non-anomalous sleeping pills. Subjects typically lose consciousness within an hour of 3285-A consumption. Afterwards, however, they will display symptoms consistent with a persistent vegetative state for between 48 and 72 hours. MRI scans conducted during SCP-3285 effect periods show no brain activity that would indicate the subject retains awareness. So it's like a coma pill.
It's like a Quaalude.
Yeah, you want to go to sleep? Guess what? You're going to sleep for 3 days, bitch.
I mean, if you want to.
Like, do you shit yourself?
It's like, well, maybe it's more of like a hibernation pill.
Yeah, let's hope you don't.
Oh my lord. This took a really weird turn.
Yeah, didn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah, the coma pills.
despite the medically verified status of subjects affected by SCP-3285-A, all nonetheless report having extremely vivid dreams that they can afterwards recall with near eidetic clarity. All dreams begin with a visible white title card on a black background covering the subject's entire perception, always consisting of the words, "The Free Story of Blank." The contents of a given dream vary, but all make use of intellectual property that is in the public domain or licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 2.0 or 3.0. Subjects affected by SCP-3285-A do not require sustenance to survive and will awaken at the conclusion of an 3285-A episode without displaying any expected negative physical side effects such as dehydration, malnourishment, or muscle atrophy. Long-term effects of SCP-3285-A exposure vary, but that usually consists of the subject expressing a greater desire to pursue altruistic or intellectual endeavors. See the test log. No negative effects have been noted from repeated SCP-3285-A testing, and all subjects react to repeated uses of SCP-3285-A in the same manner as their first usage, albeit with a different dream experienced per each instance of SCP-3285-A.
Is the free story of you. You
Yeah.
took the pill, so it's the free story of Rob
Yeah.
in that context.
Yeah.
But and then it just what is the like so the dream starts off the same way and then it's
And then it varies.
I mean and then if it's being so vivid, obviously it's the drug that's making you dream so vividly.
Right.
It kind of like
But it makes you dream that of something that was been published, intellectual property, so some type of published material that's in the public domain.
yeah, and then, but I think it's also so it would be intertwining your life story with then something
Yeah.
that is used in the public domain.
Like, let's say someone wrote a story about a thunderstorm and it rained, I don't know, ice shards or something. Well, if that was in the public domain, then that could be pulled into your dream.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
That is really neat. The following is a record of 3285-A's instances as reported by test subjects. Subject information, the title instance, the summary, and then the effects of the exposure to the instances. So, Doug 3724 245, this poor bastard. Standard subject taken from normal pool of D class. Subject is a 26-year-old female with a high school education and criminal convictions related to motor vehicle theft.
You called it. Yep.
Criminal convictions related to motor vehicle theft. You wouldn't go to jail for life for like Grand Theft Auto.
No, you wouldn't.
So
Maybe it reduces their term.
there you go. The free story of Mark Twain's stupidity. Oh, so wait, Okay, never mind. It's not about you. It's about anybody, I guess.
Yeah.
Summary of the free story of Mark Twain's stupidity. An extended dialogue between writers Mark Twain and William Shakespeare, apparently located in an afterlife resembling the traditional Western version of heaven. Shakespeare angrily criticizes Twain for questioning the authorship of his plays, punctuating his outburst with passages read out loud from Twain's Is Shakespeare Dead? In 1909. Mark Twain responds with characteristic humor wit, asking for Shakespeare to produce ready evidence of his authorship and defending his support of the Baconian theory. The story ends with Francis Bacon entering the scene and denouncing both Twain and Shakespeare as silly, dreaming children, saying that he considered that the theater a wasted time and would never have written plays. Shakespeare laughs at Twain's expense, and the dream ends. The last section would be the effects of the exposure to the Doug class there. Subject expressed a strong desire to read novels and requested reading material from researchers despite showing no great interest in literature prior to the test, no other long-term effects. And then more likely in the sense of wanting to read maybe Mark Twain in particular, Shakespeare, maybe. But it's almost like, what's the fucking Inception, not Inception, I said that earlier. Limitless?
Yeah.
It's like the little
pill
pill
that
thing
you
that they would take
yeah.
and they would become a little bit smarter.
Way
I
smarter.
wonder if that's what's going to go on here.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know if they can learn while they're asleep, but maybe they become a little bit smarter. And I want to see, the D class was 37245. Okay, I want to see if they come back up again. Thank you. Same Doug.
Same
Well,
girl.
female Doug.
Yeah. The deal with this is the free story of King Lear the author. Adaptation of William Shakespeare's King Lear onto a modern setting, depicting Lear as a famous author who is in the terminal stages of pancreatic cancer. As he writes out the final version of his will, planning to divide his assets between his 3 daughters, he asks them what they plan to do with the rights to his works. Goneril and Regan proclaim their desire to sell the rights of the film and television adaptations, whereas Cordelia expresses her desire to donate the rights to the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. Angered by her attempts to give away his legacy without financial gain, Lear disinherits Cordelia and divides the rights to his works between the other 2 sisters. After firing his literary agent, Kent, for expressing disapproval at his disownment of Cordelia, Lear slowly begins to lose his mind and the other main characters die as in the original play. Story ends with Lear's reputation ruined as his family scandals and his daughter's plots to kill one another are exposed. He dies without a direct heir, and Goneril's widower, Albany, inherits his fortune. So the effects, subject expressed an extreme distaste for the works of author George R.R. Martin and displayed in-depth knowledge of his A Song of Ice and Fire series, despite not having previously read it. Yeah. So she knew the book, but she didn't like...
Why George R.R. Martin?
I don't know.
Unless I'm missing something.
No.
Like,
it's just, it's a left field out of the blue thing.
Maybe not right just of yet, but I think I'm close at she didn't know what that book was before, going to sleep. Mm-hmm. When she woke up, she knew about it because of that dream. She's learning from her dreams.
Somehow.
The next one.
Which is weird because they said that in that coma-like state, there was no brain activity. Is that a baby?
I don't know what the fuck that was. Is that a fawn? It sounds like a kid. They have kids. It was probably one of his kids. I just don't know what he did to himself. Next, what are these called? Tests.
Yeah, it's test subjects.
Oh yes,
test instance.
The next test subject is junior researcher Adams. After lack of negative side effects in the previous test, consumption of 3285A instances by the Foundation personnel for research purposes was approved. The story of Lawrence the Preserver, a medieval fantasy epic featuring a fictionalized version of Creative Commons founder Lawrence Lessig, as the story primary protagonist. The story begins as an army antagonist, referred to as the Suppressors, sack Lawrence's hometown, destroying the library that Lawrence has previously worked in as a scribe. Vowing to avenge the ink in the blood, Lawrence raises an army of peasants and other lower-class citizens to remove Suppressors from their land. Climax of the story takes place in a battlefield referred to as Extentia, as Lawrence does battle with and defeats the nameless leaders of the Suppressors, suffering a mortal wound in the process. The Suppressors are driven from the land, and Lawrence is immortalized as Lawrence the Preserver.
Good for Lawrence.
The effects to Adams expressed as desire to contribute to humanity's collective knowledge. After being placed in on-site lodging, logs of researcher Adams' computer indicated numerous visits to Wikimedia Commons image website, followed by uploads of public domain images collected where elsewhere on the internet to the site. Full recovery of 3285A's effects was successfully achieved by following Class B amnestic treatment. I guess it has to choose what is in public domain, obviously, so it's just choosing this shit at random.
I guess.
No real reason why.
Right. And then the last one.
The last one is
You want me to, yeah, pretty much, but I'll read the little section in the front. Andrew Garcia Foundation, legal counsel. Subject had previously worked for blank as an intellectual property attorney. Test cleared by site director. So the story here is the free story of the arrogant lawyer.
So you know what's really funny? I mean, like it's the exact
it's the
same
same
text,
thing.
but like then you have to click this just to get it. Like I get the the reasoning behind it. It's how the website's built. So immediately what I got out of this is just trademark infringement. So maybe whatever this is, it's a true story. Yeah. Okay.
For some reason, Andrew Garcia, a non-D-class person, volunteered for this. He took the pill, and this is what happened. A mock trial of Andrew Garcia taking place in a dilapidated courtroom filled with individuals the subject identified as his friends and relatives. A group of humanoid entities whose face the subject was unable to recall act as the judge, jury, and bailiff of the courtroom, all wearing uniformly black clothes, save for a single public domain insignia identical to the one seen in SCP-3185 letters. The trial, in air quotes, begins with the entities reading law school papers and lawsuit notices the subject had previously written, afterwards discarding the papers in a fire pit located in the center of the courtroom. As the papers burn, the courtroom audience repeatedly chants the word suppress, and the subject experiences discomfort in his perceived skin. As each document is destroyed, the subject loses knowledge of the contents contained therein. The process repeats itself for what the subject perceives to be 6 hours. This is the only recorded SCP-3285A instance that has both involved the subject directly in the dream and created perceived physical stimulus during it. So the effects: suffered partial amnesia, apparently losing all memories of his work related to his previous profession. Afterwards, subject suffered from long-term insomnia and night terrors. Additionally, the subject expressed difficulty in recalling contents of public domain books such as Dracula after reading them. Amnestics ineffective in reversing symptoms. Containment procedures updated to prevent testing on intellectual property attorneys. So going forward, they're not allowed to. Anybody else? It's not like, why? What was the?
I was gonna say what made it the difference.
I don't know.
That it did make it about him, identical to the one seen in 3185's letters. The fuck is 3185?
You can go to it.
It was down here at the bottom. Research into connections with 3185 is ongoing. 3185 description is a phenomenon associated with a group or entity known as the Public Domain Protection Service. 3185 takes its form of a business letter addressed to an individual currently living in Southern California, as employed by one of the organizations listed in containment procedures in the affected job positions. A letter can be opened by anybody. However, the countdown as primary effect does not begin until the addressee has read the letter and understands the content of the goddamn letter.
Basically, it's just, I think the only thing in coincidence with it is that it just affects the public domain. Other than that, I don't see a connection. This one kind of fizzed out.
It did. It started off like
Yeah.
not too bad. Like,
But then it just like not much to it.
I mean, there's really nothing much. I'm trying to actually think of what would be considered public domain starting like this year. What is the years that it takes for it to become?
76.
That's what I thought. 77 is what I thought it
Maybe
was.
7. I thought it was 76. Like 1 year over more than 75, but I could be wrong. Nonetheless, like the last thing I remember was the Steamboat Willie, the Mickey Mouse thing.
Right.
So that stuff like
And
that.
like Pooh and shit came out like not too long ago as well. That's why they made those like
But it was
ridiculous horror movies.
but it was like the first generation Pooh, not the Disney Pooh.
That was kind of lame. The Cowbell was actually a lot more interesting. I'm not saying that was bad, but it was just it did like kind of die out there. It's not.
I mean, I didn't hate it, so I'd give it a 2 out of 5
It's about right.
because like it wasn't like horrible reading it. It didn't gross me out.
Like last week.
Yeah, last week grossed me out.
Also kind of like gives off the vibe of like, you're taking a drug you on purpose so you can go to sleep, and then you're having a dream on purpose. Whatever the dream you're having, I guess it doesn't even have to be influenced what you're interested in.
Right.
So you're gonna learn about something new, which I kind of thought that was the way that it was going, because even you're losing your memory.
Yeah.
You're gaining memory of something that you didn't even think you had, but you're also losing like your long-term and your short-term memory. So,
Right.
but I guess depending on what like the story contains, it's not terrible. Plus, like, I like how it's like, well, give it to the D class first.
Yeah.
And then after like 2 tests with the same D class,
yeah,
they're
then
like,
it-
all right, somebody else was like, all right, I'll take some.
This patent attorney, like, let me try that.
Oh yeah, testing on any subjects who have worked with intellectual property attorneys is now forbidden. Like that's actually funny.
Now it is because we read it. Yeah.
But yeah, a 2 is pretty good. And then we gave the other one a 3. A 2 and a 3. That's about the average episode that we have.
Yeah. But that's all right. I mean, they're random rolls.
Yeah, but then again, plus our random rolls will take us into the tangents that we had there a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
With the set of 9.
Right.
I do want to like find another one of those books. I'd rather do it like naturally.
Like sporadically?
Yeah.
Or
if we had just end up rolling one, it would be
I don't know what
so
the odds
cool.
would be. I mean, 9 out of 10,000.
I mean, we also read 2 of them. We read 2 of them.
9 out of 9,998.
And then also, we've rolled the same SCP twice before.
We have. That's true.
So,
Well, that's going to have to happen.
Yeah.
That's like when 2 people have the same birthday.
I know a lot of people that have my birthday.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
People that you know or people that are famous?
Personal.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Friends
Nice.
and such. Anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap this one up.
All right.
Started off with a 3, ended with a 2. It's not that bad. Whatever. Once again, thanks for stopping by the channel and listening to the Safely Controlled podcast. Please check out any other things on the channel, like other podcasts. The Rogue Report, some of the gameplay videos. We might have something coming down the line for you guys here, something that me and Rob might work on together. But I thank you for coming by,
Oh, yeah. Sure.
and we'll see you in the next episode.
All right. See you guys.
Later.